One of the most parroted things that you hear about in Bitcoin, one of the most fundamental, one of the most important things when it comes to Bitcoin is taking self-custody of your Bitcoin, taking self-custody of your money. I've stressed this. Nico has stressed this. Basically, anybody that is in the Bitcoin space that understands the importance of Bitcoin will also stress the importance of self-custody. Well, it's good to see that people in the political space are also taking this seriously, but they're doing it in ways that is a little questionable. Let's go over this one. Now, if you've been in the Bitcoin space for longer than, I don't know, a month, then you probably, I think, are aware of the different options that you have when it comes to taking self-custody of your Bitcoin. The most common place that people get their Bitcoin, love it or hate it, is an exchange. You go to a place like Cash App or FTX when that was a thing, I guess, or Binance or Coinbase or Kraken, whatever. You go to one of these places, you purchase some Bitcoin, and then it seems like a lot of people leave their Bitcoin on the exchange. Well, less now, more than ever, which is good. That's good. People are taking the Bitcoin from the exchange. They're not saying, I just trust you to hold it. They're going, yeah. No. If a bank can't even trust me with their pen, you've seen the pens at the banks that they've got the little beaded chain on it. If you can't even be trusted with a pen at a bank, then maybe the place that has that low of opinion of you, the holding of the money institution place, the bank, the exchange, shouldn't be holding your money. So people are learning this. People are understanding this, and they're taking their money off the exchange. That's all good. But there are some people that have taken the whole self-custody idea and got it a little backwards. This one is from the Daily Wire. Bob Menendez makes claim about why he had $480,000 in cash at his home. And honestly, it's really pretty straightforward right here. All right, Bob. Okay, Bob, I see what you're doing here. You want to take self-custody. That's good. Thumbs up. Senator Bob Menendez, Democrat from New Jersey, held a press conference on Monday to address the federal corruption charges by prosecutors from the Southern District of New York who, can you believe it, accused him of accepting bribes. A politician accepting bribes? The federal indictment was unsealed on Friday, and it accused the senator and his wife of accepting bribes from 3 business people in exchange for actions that he took as chairman of the powerful Senate Foreign Relations Committee. What a name. According to the DOJ, the bribes were intended to protect the businessmen and benefit Egypt. Doesn't Egypt have all the gold in the world, all the sphinxes and this? Clearly, that couldn't be what they were doing. Menendez offered an explanation for why he had $480,000 in cash at his home when investigators executed a search warrant. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to do an accurate impersonation here, so I got to think up the voice. What do you imagine this individual sounds like? What does this face sound like to you? Does it sound like this?
For 30 years. No.
For 30 years.
For 30 years.
Yeah, there we go.
For 30 years, I have withdrawn thousands of dollars in cash from my personal savings account, which I have kept for emergencies and because of the history of my family facing confiscation in Cuba,
he said. That's not very Cuban, but we're continuing.
Now, this may seem old-fashioned, but these were monies drawn from my personal savings account based on the income that I have lawfully derived over those 30 years. I look forward to addressing other issues at trial.
Maybe you, like Bob Menendez, want to take self-custody of your money, but you're smarter about it. Maybe you're interested in Bitcoin. You have rightfully and truthfully and honestly earned your Bitcoin, and now you want to take it into self-custody, and you're not entirely sure how to do that. Reach out to the Bitcoin Way, schedule that free 30-minute consultation call, and get your questions answered. Who looks forward to going to trial? Have you ever heard somebody like, whoa, I got jury duty. I'm so excited to go to trial. I've never heard that. Never once. So I can't imagine the people that are on the stand, the people that are being held accountable for something are going to be like, yes, I can't wait to go to trial. You hear people saying, I look forward to my day in court to prove my innocence. And how often does that happen? People get wrongly accused of things. Sure. But Menendez did not address the gold, luxury car, home furnishings, and mortgage payments that prosecutors allege he also accepted as bribes. Authorities say some of the envelopes full of money found in the home contain the fingerprints of the business people who are accused of paying the bribes to Menendez. Well, that has an obvious explanation. The prosecutors, can't they obviously look? This is very clear. Bob Menendez knows the business people, right? Now imagine this is an envelope. This envelope, imagine it's packed just so full of $100 bills. Okay, if you had this envelope, who are you going to go to ask about advice with what to do with this great big wad of cash? Are you gonna go to the guy that flips the burgers down at your favorite restaurant? No. Are you gonna go to the gal that works at the Starbucks who, yeah, she does a good job with your cappuccino, but you're gonna ask her? No. Are you gonna ask the business people from Egypt that you happen to know who just also maybe sometimes, look, they are nice men and they know business. So of course you're gonna say, what should I do with this, Mr. Businessman? I got this out of my personal savings account. They gave it to me in this great big stuffed envelope. Now I'm gonna hand it to you so that you can feel that it's real. And now what do I do with that? And the businessman goes, this is a good full envelope. Yes, very good. Good full envelope, all money, very nice. Best thing to do, sew into jacket lining. Put it in the jacket lining. Great place, very secure. You're from Cuba, I'm from Egypt. Good place for money, inside of jacket lining. Obviously, the 69-year-old, what a age to be alive. What a time to be alive. The 69-year-old senator did not address the allegations in the indictment that he turned over sensitive U.S. government information to the Egyptian government. And we're just chatting. We're just broing out. He emphasized his record on Egypt during the period described in his indictment.
My record is clear and consistent in holding Egypt accountable for its unjust detention of American...
Sir, we're not talking about unjust detention.
Unjust detention of American citizens and others. Its human rights abuses. Its deepening relationship with Russia. That's a bad deal to Russia. And efforts that have eroded the independence of the nation's judiciary, among a myriad of concerns.
That's not what we're here to talk about today. Bob, that's not what we're not... we can address that at another. This is not the place for that. We're talking about the luxury car, the mortgage payment. Well, you got any answers about that? Menendez faces up to 45 years in prison if convicted of the charges, which include conspiracy to commit bribery, conspiracy to commit honest services fraud. I'm sorry. Conspiracy to commit honest services fraud? That's a thing? How do you conspire to terms that they come up with this stuff? I tell you, conspiracy to commit honest services fraud. I mean, I get it, but boy, that's a real mouth salad there, I'll tell you what. The important thing here is that Bob Menendez was taking self-custody of his money. Now, we know it's his money because he got it somehow and he had it, so clearly it's his. If you couldn't tell, I was kidding for a lot of that. I think that this kind of thing is absolutely nuts. Now, I've got another video coming out here in the not so distant future where I'm explaining, because it seems like a lot of people don't understand, how the debasement of money actually makes politicians rich. But for this one here, the closeout message is this. Taking self-custody of your money, yeah, hey, good, thumbs up. Taking bribes, no, bad, thumbs down. Rule of law? Good, yes. Having a system in place that actually has some checks and balances? Yeah, good. Making shady business dealings with people from places and doing some stuff that's definitely not on the level? Not good there either. At the end of the day, take self-custody of your Bitcoin that you have honestly and truthfully and morally and ethically obtained. And don't put money in a jacket stuffed in an envelope with anybody's fingerprints on it. It's just a really bad idea. Now, with Bob Menendez's intriguing and rather interesting story out of the way, check out this video here where I go over why Fidelity, yes, Fidelity, thinks that Bitcoin might reach $1 billion. That's not me saying that. I'm just saying what Fidelity said. Talk about it right here, right there.